since COVID, there's been about 24 studies around the world, of which 12 of them have yielded peer-reviewed, published documentation talking about the fact that now we are starting to really truly start to dig in deeper in some of those secondary cannabinoids, looking at things like CBDV, looking at things like THCA non-heated,
Yeah.
and looking at the way that they literally respond, and they're having amazing effect on anybody on the entire spectrum. So people who have from Asperger's to or any of the spectrum disorders, they're starting to show in clinical trials using animal models how efficacious some of these other cannabinoids are when it comes to illness. Why? Because they do things to the synapses in the brain. So for me, I noticed immediately I started recovering better from my stroke, and I do a couple of other things, but I started recovering. I mean, almost like astronomically faster when I started ensuring that I was taking in some CBD, CBDV, making sure that I had some CBG if I could get it. When I started taking it, I started noticing that boom, I kind of bounced back, and technically, I really am other than if you saw my brain on a CAT scan, you would know that I had a stroke. But most of the doctors that I see can't figure out that I have ever had one. And then literally, I had a stroke that was the size of a stroke that normally kills 50% of the people who have it. As a matter of fact, within a month of my stroke, what was it? Luke Perry had his stroke and died. John Singleton had his stroke and died. They had similar strokes to mine. They were hemorrhagic cerebellar hemorrhagic strokes. Killed both of them. I bounced back, and I am absolutely 100% convinced that was my cannabinoid usage before the stroke and after that has really been a significant part of my recovery. And that's part of what I think when I go back for a second to that whole education idea.